So, like many Americans, on Valentine's Day, I saw the tragic news that happened in Florida. And like most Americans, I look at my social media, I check it, I keep in touch with friends and family. And I've seen the same stuff get posted over and over again. Every time we have a mass shooting of some sort, you see the same people post the same things, or the same politicians say the same things. And it's mind boggling because what does that accomplish? What? Nothing. In my eyes, from my understanding, the definition of stupidity is making the same mistake over and over again and not fixing it. And it seems that is exactly what we're doing. The moment that we let little kids die in an elementary school, we all became complacent. The instant that it happened again in a movie theater or in a church or whatever, we were stupid. Somewhere along the line, we messed up. We refused to listen to each other. The anti-gun people refused to listen to the pro-gun people. Pro-gun people refused to listen to the anti-gun people. And the irony of it is both of them don't want people to die. Both of them have the answer, but they have to come together. The other basic truth is most people are in the middle of this issue. But we have so many variables coming from all different angles at our politicians or different people, whether it's propaganda or money from pro-gun groups, money from anti-gun groups, whatever it may be, that's just clouding it all. Not to mention, we're in this time where we're so incredibly divisive. There's this ginormous divide that runs in the middle of the United States, which is irony because the name is United States, and all we're doing is just letting that divide get further and further. Every single time we share something on Twitter or Facebook, Instagram, insert all of the other ones I don't know about, that's not factually accurate, we're contributing to that. And we're becoming complacent. You know, we always want the bad guy. We always want to paint the picture of just one bad guy. You know, the person in Orlando that shot up the entire nightclub. That one guy, he's the bad guy. This kid that shot up the school, he's the bad guy. And while that's very much true, the hard reality is we're also the bad guys. Every single one of us as Americans, we're just as guilty. We let kids die multiple times. We let people in churches die multiple times. We let people in a movie theater die. We're all guilty because we refuse to talk to one another. And I think it has a lot to do with social media. Used to, when you did talk to one another outside of your family, it was at work around the water cooler, and it was usually work gossip, maybe a little gossip about what was happening in the outside world. But now, because of something like Facebook, your work people come home with you, your school people come home with you, and maybe after you leave that school or place of work, they follow you along until the day you unfriend each other, unfollow each other, whatever it may be. And so there's no more just keeping quiet about what your personal feelings may be. You're forced to talk about them or see what somebody else's opinions may be. And it's caused us this friction because we're trying to come together, but because we're so close and we're all so different, and we all have such different opinions, of beliefs, etc., that it's just causing this rift. And I believe that social media could also have this amazing opposite power where, and it does, and many times you do see people, let's have a discussion, where people can actually finally talk and be willing to listen to each other. But it just seems like right now, in our current state, laziness and complacency is just spreading across our country like wildfire, and other foreign adversaries are taking advantage of it. They're well aware of what's happening. They see it and they release their little bots in to help stir it up even more. They're already saying that this happened. Valentine's Day was only a few days ago, and we already have bots putting out propaganda that people are sharing to get other people more and more divided. And it's mind-boggling that a country that started its first motto off of E pluribus unum, out of many one, we're forgetting that one basic principle that should never divide us. We're all Americans, every single one of us. Whether you live in Utah or California, New York, or Texas, yes, you may be a Texan, yes, you may be a New Yorker, but ultimately, you are an American. It is because of America that your state is able to exist and hopefully thrive. the failure to remember that one thing, that one uniting thing, I believe, is causing a huge, huge rift. And it's allowing us to have a second where we see other people as others. They're no longer part of us. They're no longer our fellow citizens, our fellow Americans. They're an other because they believe something differently than what we believe, or they do something that we disagree with. They're now an other. They're no longer an American. They're just an other. Truth is, we live in a large country filled with vast amount of people from all walks of life. And no matter what that walk of life may entail, first and foremost, they are an American, and they're our fellow Americans. And every one of those kids that died on Valentine's Day, they were Americans. And they deserve our respect, not just to sum up what happened to them in a meme, or to ignore our other fellow Americans, and to continue down a stupid path where we do nothing, where every single one of them dies in vain because we refuse to get our shit together and talk to one another. This isn't something that's challenging. This is something that is ultimately American. At our core, this is who we are. We're allowing leaders to divide us. We're allowing money to divide us. We're forgetting our basic truth. Out of many, one. I don't know if this video will do anything, but I can't sit around and watch the news anymore and listen to a little girl who just lost her best friend break down because she can't even shower alone anymore. She's terrified. She's terrified to be in a room by herself anymore because she's haunted by the image of watching her best friend die while sitting at school. Or reading text messages about two brothers who were floors apart in the same school I was going and constantly testing, are you still okay? Are you still okay? One brother texting, my teacher's dead in the doorway right now. How is this happening in America? This isn't Venezuela. We're not some third world country. We're supposed to be the beacon on the hill. And for some reason, because of selfishness, because of complacency, because of laziness, we're allowing ourselves to create a divide that may not be fixable. I believe we're in a place where it very much is fixable. We just need to remember we're Americans. We sent a man to the moon. We've done things that everybody thought we couldn't do. I walk outside my door every day here in New York, and I'm proud I'm American. I remember why I'm an American. I see people from all walks of life coming together, remembering who they are, and loving one another, remembering that each one of us makes this country work, and we must come together. If this means anything to you, hopefully you share it, or you talk to somebody. If you're pro-gun, talk to somebody who's anti-gun. You're anti-gun, talk to somebody who's pro-gun. Let's stop being complacent. Let's talk to one another. We have disagreements, beautiful. Let's talk it out. We may not ever come to a conclusion, but at least we tried. At least nobody else dies in vain. We have to promise these kids that their future is not bleak. There's something to look forward to, and we're going to do everything in our power to make it happen. I'm just some guy on a mission to make the world a better place. Take that for what it is, and I hope it meant something to you. All my love. Chaz out.